My name is Emily. I am 24 years old. I live in a small town in the United States. My life is not easy. I work in a cafe during the day. At night, I study online to finish my degree. I am always tired, but I need money and education. I want a better life, but sometimes I feel stuck. My parents do not understand me. My friends think I spend too much time alone. I feel lonely even when I'm with people. I want to be strong, but I feel weak. One Friday night, I finished work late. The cafe closed at 10 o'clock. I walked home under the street lights. The town was quiet. Only a few cars passed. My phone battery was low. I wanted to call my friend Anna, but I could not. I felt nervous. My life was busy, but safe. Or at least I thought it was. Suddenly, a man appeared from the shadows. He was tall and wore a dark coat. He did not speak. He grabbed my arm. I tried to scream, but he covered my mouth. My heart was beating very fast. I could not move. He pulled me into a black van. I struggled, but it was too late. Inside the van, he tied my hands and feet. My head hurt. I could barely breathe. I asked him, "Why are you doing this?" He did not answer. I felt fear I never felt before. I wanted to cry, but I could not. I thought about my parents. I thought about my little apartment. I thought about my dreams. I did not want to die. After a few hours, he stopped the van. He opened the door and told me to run if I could. I did not wait. I ran into the forest near the road. My shoes were wet. My clothes were dirty. I ran and ran. I could hear the van moving behind me. I fell, but I did not stop. Finally, I found a small road and a car stopped. The driver called the police. I was shaking. I could not speak clearly. I just said, "Please help me." He tried to hurt me. The police came quickly. They asked me many questions. I told them everything. I described the man and the van. I gave them my phone and my clothes. But the next day, something terrible happened. The police called me. "Emily," the officer said, "we think your story is not true. Maybe it is a hoax." I could not believe it. "What? No, I am not lying," I shouted. The officer did not answer. He said, "Sometimes people make up stories like this. We need proof." I was shocked. I cried. I felt sick. I told my friends, but some of them said, "Are you sure it really happened? Maybe you are exaggerating." Even my parents looked worried. Not at the kidnapper, but at me. I could not understand. I was the victim, but no one believed me. Days passed. I could not sleep. Every noise made me jump. I avoided the street lights. I wanted to stay home, but I also wanted my life back. I wanted justice. I decided to write down everything that happened. I wrote every detail. The van, the man, his voice, the forest. I drew a map of where he left me. I wanted the police to see that I was telling the truth. Then I met Detective Carter. He was new in the town. He had a kind face. He listened to me without doubt. He said, "Emily, I believe you. We will find him." For the first time, I felt hope. Detective Carter started investigating. He looked at security cameras near the cafe. He asked neighbors if they saw the van. He even checked the forest where I ran. Slowly, small clues appeared. A camera caught a van with a dark coat inside. Someone saw a man near the road the night I escaped. The evidence was small, but it was enough to continue. Meanwhile, my life was still hard. I could not sleep. I felt afraid every time I left my apartment. I thought someone would take me again. I wanted to quit my job, but I could not. I needed money. I wanted to study, but my mind was full of fear. People still stared at me. Some whispered, maybe it was her imagination. I hated that. I wanted to scream to everyone, "I am telling the truth." One night, Detective Carter called me. "Emily, We found something, he said. My heart jumped. He explained that the man who tried to kidnap me had done this before. Other women in nearby towns had similar experiences. Some were believed, some were not. Now, with my story, the police could connect the cases. A week later, they caught him. He was arrested at a motel. I did not go to see him, but I felt relief. I felt like my fear could finally end. After the arrest, the police apologized. Some newspapers wrote about my story. They said I was brave, but I still felt angry. Why did it take so long for people to believe me? Why did I have to fight alone? I wanted to tell everyone that victim blaming hurts. It is not easy to survive when people do not trust you. Slowly, I tried to return to normal life. I went back to the cafe. I studied at night. I went for short walks in the park, always during the day. I was careful, but I also wanted my freedom back. I learned that fear can stay, but it does not have to control you. I could feel strong again. I also started to talk about my experience online. I wanted to help other women who were not believed. I wanted them to know they were not alone. People wrote to me, thanked me, and shared their stories. I realized that speaking out gave me power. I could help others and protect myself. I will never forget that night. It changed my life, but I also learned something important. Even when the world doubts you, your voice matters. Even when people blame you, you are not guilty. And even when life is scary, you can find strength inside yourself to keep going.